Let's be honest. Charting is the part of medicine that follows us home, steals our evenings, and drains our energy. But it doesn't have to be like that. In today's episode, I'm sharing 3 powerful tips to help you finish documentation faster, stay compliant, and still have a life outside the clinic. From real-time charting hacks to leveraging your team to ditching the perfectionists that keep you stuck, these strategies will change the way you work, because done is better than perfect, and you deserve your time back. Ever feel like the system is broken and you're the one left trying to hold it all together? Same here. I'm a female physician, and after 20 years in medicine as an allergist, a woman, and an immigrant, I found myself staring down burnout. The kind that makes you question everything, even walking away from a successful career I'd built. Then one day, totally by chance, I listened to a podcast, and it cracked something open. That's how I discovered life coaching, mindset work, intention, the power of chasing so-called impossible goals. It changed everything for me. I went from surviving to thriving and eventually became a certified life coach myself. Now, this podcast is my way of paying it forward. Here we talk mindset, medicine, and making moves because you can love your work again. You can write your own story, and it starts right now. Let's go. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here because today we're tackling one of the biggest strains in medicine, medical documentation. I know, even hearing the word charting might make your shoulders tense up. They make mine. For so many physicians, documentation is the part of the day that spills over into nights and weekends, robbing us of time with our families and draining our energy. But what if you could get smarter about it? What if you could complete your documentation efficiently, stay compliant, and still have time left for what actually matters? Today, I'm sharing 3 powerful time-saving tips to help you master your documentation workflow and reclaim your time. So why documentations feel so heavy? Well, before we dive into the tips, let's be honest about why documentation feels like such a burden. First, electronic health records, the EHRs, were designed for billing and compliance, not for physician ease. Second, many of us were trained in environments where perfectionism was praised. That means we often over-document out of fear of missing something or even being judged. And third, we tend to do documentation in the worst way possible. At the end of the day, when we are already exhausted. Sounds familiar? If so, you're not alone. And that's why these tips are going to be game changers for you. So, tip number 1, document in real time and love your shortcuts. I know, this is going to sound a little bit redundant if you heard yesterday's podcast. However, I cannot emphasize enough. The best way to reduce after-hour charting is simple. Do as much documentation as possible in real time. I know that sounds impossible when you're behind, but hear me out. Bring your computer into the room. If your workflow allows it, of course, but it always does. This lets you type notes as you're taking the patient's history. Use the shortcuts and templates that are in the EHRs. Most of them have those dot phrases or smart phrases that can pull in patient data. They're commonly used phrases or even entire note skeletons. If you spend an hour setting these up, you can save multiple hours every single week. You do not even have to do them from scratch. You can cut and paste from histories that you did that day. That will make it even easier for you. Customize them to your voice and style. I used to think that nothing was worse than notes that sound like they were written by someone else or feel impersonal. Nowadays, I am fine with them, and honestly, I rather have the time to spend with my family. Real-time documentation also improves accuracy. The details are fresher and you're less likely to miss something critical. And then the best part, when you walk out of the exam room, your note is already almost done. Tip number 2, use your team to their full potential. We also talked about this already. You don't have to do everything yourself. Take advantage of team documentation. If your practice allows, consider scribe support, whether in person or virtual. Even partial scribe coverage for complex visits can be a lifesaver. Huddles are amazing. A quick morning huddle with your team can highlight patients who need special documentation or even billing considerations, so you're not blindsided midday. When you fully leverage your team, you're not just saving time, you're reducing mental clutter and freeing yourself up to focus on the actual medical decision making, which is what you're there for. Tip number 3, batch review, but don't batch write. Let's talk about end of the day charting. Many physicians save it all for later, thinking they will just knock out all their charts at the end of the day. The problem, by the end of the day, you're exhausted. Details have faded your mind and charts take twice as long. Instead, finish your notes while the visits are fresh. Aim for about 80 to 90% completion before you leave the room. Batch review at set times. What does that mean? If you need to double check labs or imaging, do it at 2 or 3 specific times a day instead of constantly switching between these tasks. These prevent your brain from toggling back and forth, which is a huge time waster. Set a firm charting deadline. Give yourself a hard stop, like all the notes done by 30 minutes after the last patient. You'll be amazed how much your efficiency improves when there is a boundary. Okay, I give myself an hour after clinic. So maybe 30 minutes is too little. You have to do it whatever is good for you. Okay, are you ready? I have a bonus mindset shift. Done is better than perfect. I love that saying. I want to leave you with this. Not every note needs to be a masterpiece. We're often taught to write like we're publishing a novel, but documentation's real purpose is patient safety and continuity of care, compliance and billing, legal protection. That's it. You're not being graded by an English professor. You're documenting for function, not for art. Give yourself permission to do good work quickly and let it be good enough. So, here are your 3 documentation time savers. Document in real time and use templates, shortcuts. Leverage your team for pre-visit data entry and scribing. Batch review, do not batch writing. Finish your notes while they are fresh. You don't have to accept documentation as a never-ending, soul-sucking task. By getting smarter about it, you can protect your time, reduce your stress, and actually enjoy your life outside of medicine. Thanks for joining me today. If this episode helped you, share it with a colleague who could use some documentation relief too. And don't forget to subscribe because tomorrow we're sharing secrets about electronic medical records. Did this episode resonate with you? If so, it would mean the world if you'd leave a quick 5-star review on your Apple Podcast or your favorite platform, or give it a thumbs up on YouTube. It only takes a second and helps more people find the show. Take care of yourself. You are worth it, and I'll see you tomorrow.